Last week, O.J. Simpson died. That was no great loss to mankind. I'm old enough to remember the trial, the first trial, the criminal trial, and the aftermath of it. It was claimed at the time that the country, the United States, was polarised along racial lines, that blacks believed he was not guilty and whites believed he was guilty, and we saw cleverly edited film clips to that effect. When the verdict came in, I was sitting in a public building. I won't say what I was doing, but it turned out to be quite profitable for me. And there were two guys sitting close to me. One was, I suppose, of Middle Eastern sort of appearance, and another was clearly African. The Middle Eastern guy spoke very fluent English. The African spoke fluent English with an African accent, Nigerian perhaps. And the Nigerian thought Simpson was guilty. It was a bit, if I recall, he was a bit enraged that he'd been acquitted. And the other bloke thought he was innocent. An acquaintance of mine, somebody I knew from, well, I'd say professionally, he was like, the place I used to use, he was black anyway. And he said that O.J. got a result. So I don't believe it was that polarised at all. It was widely believed that the not guilty verdict was payback for the brutalisation of Rodney King, and at least one juror has gone on record to that effect. I'll put a link to my I've got the Rodney King video on my main website. I'll put a link to it below. For those who are not old enough to remember, or those who haven't researched it, Rodney King was a convicted felon. He was about 6'4". He was driving super fast. I don't believe he had a licence. He was chased down by the police. He was high on drugs, and he did resist arrest after a fashion. But if you look at the video of him being, I mean, it's absolutely outrageous. Nobody should treat a dog like that. Except maybe a Jack Russell, but that's still a story. And the thugs in uniform who, I mean, they were acquitted. How they were acquitted, I don't know. It was a brave jury. It should have been an equally brave jury, or braver jury, in the George Floyd case, because Derek Chauvin did not deserve to be convicted of murder. Perhaps, I say perhaps, of involuntary manslaughter, but again, that's another story. And blacks went wild, especially in Los Angeles. Absolutely wild. I don't know to what extent they were. I mean, I think there must have been agents provocateur, left-wing agents provocateur in the midst, but it was insane. Now, if they'd torched the police station, that would be understandable. Or even if they'd assassinated a police officer or two, that, I mean, I'm not saying they should have done, but that would be rational. But no. So the whole business was really horrible. Simpson, complete low life. He was functionally illiterate. He didn't write that book. If I did it, it was ghostwritten. And he had speed, charisma, and nothing else. The world is better off for his passing. Anyway, that's just my thoughts.